Hello, everybody. It is Elle, and today I'm going to read about Sudiksha Konaki. She is the Indian girl who was a University of Pittsburgh student vacationing in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. And she was out with a bunch of her friends, five of them. They all went vacationing there together and had a nice time, it looks like. She's on the cameras. They were drinking a lot, but who doesn't on those kind of occasions? And she's a young girl and was just out enjoying herself. Met up with a guy. His name was Joshua Riibe. At 4:15 a.m., they went towards the beach. And it sounds like around 5:15 a.m., Joshua was the only one that left. Those timelines have changed a bit too. So if you have a different timeline, feel free to put it in the comments. But that's the last I read. I've heard his story has changed. So here's the story. And I guess here's what doesn't make sense to me. He said that they both got pulled in by a wave. He got out and I guess he was throwing up seawater. And she, the last time he saw her as she got out too, was standing up in kind of shallow water. But then I guess he went and fell asleep on a lawn chair. I guess if you're drunk enough, maybe that could happen. Um, and he just thought she left, I suppose. I don't know. It's kind of a strange scenario. And that's why I wanted to do this reading because the scenario is strange. How many times have you gone to the beach with somebody, even if it's at night, and all of a sudden the person's gone and you're just like, it doesn't seem like it's something that really was extremely concerning at the moment. I don't know. There's just a little bit about it that is a little concerning about the way maybe it wasn't handled. But we don't know. We don't know what they're thinking. And when you're under the influence, sometimes you think differently than you would if you were not under the influence. So we have to take that into account as well. I've heard his story has changed multiple times. I would love to think that what he's saying, and he had nothing to do with it, is true. People are comparing this case to Natalie Holloway and saying she also was a girl years ago, went on vacation, met a boy. And I think they even went to the beach and she did not accept his advances and he actually killed her. And we hope nothing like this has happened to Sudiksha. Her family does seem to think she just drowned, and it seems like the boy is being cleared. So hopefully he has no involvement. Of course, the police know better than we do on that whole situation. But most people seem to think it is just drowning. So we're going to ask these questions just because, let's face it, it's kind of an odd situation, and maybe the cards will give us some insight. So, okay, we're going to do our regular reading with a missing person. So that includes foul play, accident, natural passing. Did she leave on her own or was it a suicide? Those are the 5 ways that people die. Or left on their own, isn't there? Because some people just do leave on their own too. I doubt that's the case here. But let's go ahead and we're going to start with foul play and see what we get there. So, Sudiksha Konaki and foul play. Tell us about Sudiksha Konaki and foul play. Sudiksha and foul play. Okay, so I have this card right here. Right away, we're starting with a cup, and that's a water card. So you see all the water here. You see kind of going into the water. We've got our emphasis on water. This is not a foul play card. This is a card of girl. Often it could tell me a girl because it's the Ace of Cups. And so what does this card mean? It means emotions, feeling quite good. But in the case of missing person reading, and when I do ask about going in the water, same card I got for Corey Gaucher when she went in the water. Corey Gaucher, unfortunately, was found passed in the water. Corey Gaucher committed suicide and jumped off a bridge, and I always equated this to kind of the bridge and her jumping off. Not the case in this situation. but it is right away pointing me towards the water with foul play. It's not really a foul play card. I have cards that would make me think foul play. This is not one of them. This is kind of a nice feeling good at the moment card. So I'm not getting foul play from this right off the bat. Now we are going to ask more questions. One being, is Joshua involved? We're just going to come out and ask. But let's go ahead and ask if this is an accident. An accidental drowning. Is this an accident? All right, let's see. Sudiksha, was her passing, if she's passed, people think she is, was it an accidental drowning? Well, this is the Four of Pentacles. That's kind of an odd card for an accidental drowning. The Four of Pentacles is somebody who is keeping everything close. Kind of this person people think is sort of a miser, not sharing. So that right there does, if I was reading about Natalie Holloway and I got a card like this, I would say, because she had not accepted the boy's advances, right? And here we have a card kind of along those lines as well. This is a person being what some would think is a little greedy. Sometimes the Four of Pentacles, not sharing. It's all his. You see how he's holding the stuff close to him. This is mine and I'm not sharing. So it does make me question what might have happened out there. It does make me question a little bit about an accident. It looks like there might have been a little bit of a this is mine. This is mine. So we're going to go forward with that. We have her going into the water. We have a this is mine. Let's ask about a natural passing. Now, a natural passing would be something like a heart attack, a stroke. Probably pretty uncommon for a girl her age to have a natural passing. Oh, so look at that. We have the Tower. We definitely have the Tower here. Very quick, very unexpected things happening, and they happen to her and him. I do see that because there is two of them here. And so that does make me question about the waves because it does seem to look in that sense. I mean, the card for natural passing is very, very strong. Very, very strong. So what do we have? We have a girl going into the water. We have kind of this refusal, no, this is mine. Then we have a natural passing, but this thing happened to both of them, this unexpected thing, which does make me think it very well may have been the wave. Let me ask about that. Was this the wave situation? Is that what we're seeing here? Drowning to me is more of an accident. Okay, so now we have something that does kind of concern me. It does, because I have the Tower, something very unexpected happening. And now I have the Seven of Swords, and this person sneaking away, and this person doing something deceptive, and this person doing something they shouldn't have, and taking something that's not theirs. So I question with these cards. I have to. I'm just reading the cards, guys. Don't blame the messenger here. But I will say we have going by the water here, right? The girl going by the water. I've got a, hey, this is mine. I don't want to give this to you card. I have a something unexpected happening. And then I have a card of somebody taking something that's not theirs and sneaking away. I'm going to let you put that together because to me that's concerning. That's a concerning read right there. It is. All right. I'll do the left on her own, but I think the cards have told me what happened. Left on her own. I don't think she left on her own. No, she did not leave on her own. This is not a card of sneaking away. We saw like sneaking away before, and unfortunately are taking what's not yours and then sneaking away. I am concerned about what happened to her on that beach. I will say that. I'll ask about suicide. Don't think it was suicide either. Suicide. All right, let's see about a suicide here. I so the devil is the card of doing things you should not do. The devil is a card of temptation. The devil can be a card of addiction, being drunk out by the beach. It's a card of things that happened. I don't think it's a suicide. I don't think she committed suicide. I do see her chained to this male and kind of being under his control. And with those earlier cards we got of a female going to the beach, kind of saying, this is mine, not yours. Then things unexpectedly happen, somebody taking what's not theirs. And now we have the devil popping up saying, the devil, people doing things they ought not to do. To me, what happened is clear. To me, what happened is clear. I'm just going to ask Joshua's involvement now because of all these cards I've gotten that are telling me something happened. Joshua's involvement. I mean, they just are. I would love to say no. I would love to say it was just all an accident, but that's not what I'm seeing. All right, what about Joshua's involvement in this situation? Okay, so here is a card of secrets. This is the High Priestess, and this is a card of being secretive and keeping things to yourself and keeping quiet. Again, you could put that all together, can't you? I don't really need to tell you what I think. I think you guys can see it in the cards as well. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I see the quiet and the secrets on Joshua's side. So let me ask, I'm going to flat out ask, was Joshua involved in her passing? Well, let's first of all ask if she drowned. Let me go back to that. Tell me about Sudiksha, and did she drown? And I only feel comfortable asking these things because her parents literally have been on TV saying they think she drowned. So normally I wouldn't do this because I like to be sensitive, but her parents say they've come to terms with she may have drowned. Yeah, I think she did. This is the moon. Again, these cards are really telling me the story, and I hear the story loud and clear. So the moon is by the water, anxiety, things not always appearing as they are, things not being as they seem. And then you have the dogs, and I really want you to pay attention to the dog and to the wolf, because in this card, sometimes the moon represents, let's think about a dog. A dog is domesticated, right? So your dog is friendly and nice, and it knows how to be around humans, and it behaves when you tell it to sit down and lay down and be quiet. The wolf is very instinctual, it runs with its instincts, and its instincts get the best of it, and its instincts rule it. What I see is a very anxious situation of instincts taking over, ruling, going on instincts, running on instincts, and not behaving like domesticated, behaving more like a wolf. And I keep seeing that again and again. I see the scenario. I do. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's what I see. That's what the cards say anyway. Argue with the cards if you don't like it. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so she did drown. I am seeing she drowned, but I also see all that other situation that we've seen again and again with the Tower card, the Devil card, the Seven of Swords, and the Moon card. They all are saying there's a lot more going on here than the girl just went in the water and drowned. There is. I can see it. Okay, so let's ask if she drowned on her own. Was she in the water by herself? Meaning no one else had anything to do with her drowning. So let's see if Sudiksha actually drowned on her own. Did she drown on her own? I have a woman. I have a single woman. I'm going to say she did. That's what it looks like to me. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Why do I say Queen of Wands did it on her own? Queen of Wands is the active queen. She handles things by herself, and the activity is her own. So yeah, she did drown on her own. I don't think Joshua had anything to do with her actually drowning, as in putting her head under the water or anything like that. I don't see that here. All right. Did other things happen out there? That's what I see. Let's ask where Sudiksha can be found. Is she? Let's just ask a general, like, kind of where is she? Sometimes things in these cards, we'll ask for a landmark. I don't know how close to shore she is. I do know in seawater, a body decomposes very quickly. These are just things I know. So let's ask, where is she? Let's just ask her where is she? Again, we see all the water behind her. I do feel like she's kind of in getting into that deeper water back there, unfortunately. It's too bad. You see the ships in that card in the background. Let me ask, is she anywhere close to shore where they're searching? Close to shore? Well, let's say close to shore where she went in. Is she close to shore where she went in? Is Sudiksha close to shore where she went in? Um, I would say she's out a bit. We've got like 3 cups spilled and 2 cups standing. She might be even like 2 miles out. I hate to say it. I don't think she's real close to shore. Um, if there is a bridge around there, you might want to search like 2 miles from the bridge because we have a bridge in here. We have the loss card. So again, cards are reflecting what happened here, and we see the loss and the sadness. And near the water, the cups are water cards. So we see the loss, we see the sadness, we see the water there, the loss by the water. And the cards I couldn't have kind of scripted better cards to tell us the story of Sudiksha. These really are telling us loud and clear what happened that night. I think there were some unwanted advances for sure. And someone, unfortunately, possibly even taking something that was not theirs to take. This trying to get away may have been going into the water, trying to, when you're drinking. Let's ask if she was trying to get away from Joshua. Was she trying to get away from Joshua? Was Sudiksha trying to get away from Joshua? Was Sudiksha trying to get away from Joshua? You know what this person's trying to do? He's standing there and he's got a plan and he's looking out into the water. This is a 2 of Wands, and it's a card about planning, and you're going out into the world, into the water. So it doesn't make me think that she was trying to move forward. Wands are activity. Remember, we just saw that in the Queen of Wands. And going forward into the water. And it does make me feel that may have been, unfortunately, trying to move away from him because of this other stuff I saw. I'm not saying he drowned her. I'm saying what I see is he was putting advances on her, maybe actually did something to her, and she was trying to get away from it. And in doing so, it looks like she went into the water. Or it could have happened in the water and she was trying to get away. Either way, she's in the water now and it wasn't able to get out. Okay, so let's ask if she will be found. Will Sudiksha be found? Will she be found? She may not be. This is the 9 of Wands. This is a card of somebody being injured, protective, and it's not necessarily a card that I usually get for if somebody's found. So that would be like the Ace of Swords. Um, there's just certain cards I get when I see somebody being found. This one, it kind of looks like she may be back behind all that stuff and you might not be getting her out. You see how this person's guarding all this stuff in the back and he's like, mine, you're not coming in here. Um, I think of that in the sense of the ocean and her being in there. I'm not sure she's going to be found, unfortunately. It does make me wonder again with the guarding too, because we had the high priestess and we had Joshua and his secrets. And this makes me think, this person looks rather secretive too, like he's got things to hide and he wants to make sure nobody goes there. It does make me wonder if Joshua knows a little bit more about, let's just ask. Does Joshua know more than he's telling us about where she is? Does Joshua know more than he is telling us about where Sudiksha is? Um, I don't know that is the truth. I think there is a certain area that they were at, and I think that is the area that he has said. And why? Because this is a land card. It's a pentacle, but Pentacles are material. They could stand for land. And so to me, it's saying, and the Knight of Pentacles is not moving fast at all. He's very slow. In fact, he looks like he's just standing there. So that's why I'm reading this card this way. I don't think they really moved on from that area into another area. I do see him very stagnant and in that certain area. So I don't think he took her somewhere else. I don't see that happening. All right. Current physical state. I think we did ask if she drowned. So I don't know that this card's going to be anything that current physical state is more like, is she walking around breathing? But it looks like she drowned. So I don't know that I really need to read this card. And that is the Knight of Swords. And that is a card that like things happen very swiftly, which we can see. Not a lot of mercy on her, unfortunately. The Knight of Swords is fighting, and I just think of it as the ocean, just taking her away very fast, very fast. All happened very fast, very swiftly, very, you could see the very contrast in my two knights here, right? This knight's not going anywhere. Look at this one, very fast. Things happened very fast, and I think they just did. Was there an issue beforehand? Yeah, I do think so. All right. Let's just ask if there's a landmark by where she can be found. I did see that she probably won't be found, unfortunately. Is there a landmark? The ocean is just, the water readings are hard because really they're underwater. What landmark is there to really look at if they're in a vast body of water? Well, I'll let everybody look at this because I don't know the area at all, but that is what I got. So there might be like, I don't know, what does that look like to you? Might be something that looks kind of like that around that area. I don't know. Makes me think of like a family-owned restaurant or family villa or I don't know. I'll just leave that there. All right, we'll do a last card, maybe one or two last ones, and that is what would I wish I had asked if I stopped now? What would I wish I had asked? So what would I wish I had asked if I stopped now? Oh, this is a card about justice. Justice being more justice to this case and the case being solved. Well, that's interesting. All right, let's ask it. I wasn't going to ask that. Is this case going to be solved? Is the truth going to come out? Because that really is a case being solved, truth, justice kind of card. Is the truth going to come out in all this? I'm going back and forth. I see this as possibly her parents, but I also see this as it could have been the two of them. What this card is these people are in trouble, obviously, couple trouble, having a hard time. And so you can think of that as reflecting what happened in the water. Maybe they were having a hard time in water. It also could reflect what's going to happen with the parents. And I'm leaning more towards the parents on this one. And I just feel like the parents are going to get their justice. So the parents are asking for her to be declared dead. And that may be what it's telling us, that they are going to declare her dead. Let me ask that before the 4 years. I guess it's usually 4 years. So are they going to declare Sudiksha dead before the 4 years? It looks like they may do that. Are they going to declare for the grieving parents? It's going to be a fight. It's not going to happen really, really quickly. This is a heavy burden and somebody's pushing through. So they really are going to have to push through this to get to any sort of justice. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But I do see that they're going to keep pushing for it and keep pushing for it and keep pushing for it. And they're going to have to. So let me ask a little bit more about what is that card, the Ace of Swords that we're seeing. I'm not sure if it has to do with her being declared dead. It does seem like there's going to be more, like the case is going to be solved. But without a body? Tell me more about what I'm seeing with that Ace of Swords, the case being solved. Okay, so this is somebody going off into the night, and there's the water right next to them, and the moon of anxiety and insecurity, and we saw all of that, and going off by themselves. So It does. Sometimes this is a card that kind of represents, and I'm not saying she committed suicide. I don't think she did. But sometimes this card can represent suicide, going off by your own into the dark, that kind of thing, passing. So I do think she will be declared dead. I do, because this is a card that does does sometimes signify that to me. So I do think that's going to happen. Maybe not tomorrow, not quick. All right. Let's see. Anything else that we should know? Is there anything else that we should know before I go? Anything else that we should know about Sudiksha and this situation? Anything else that we should know? All right, well, here we go again with that boy, the Ace of Wands, and it does make me feel that there was a situation with the man, Joshua. Just does, just does. This can be a sexual card, a man. Um, it does concern me about what happened between him and her. It does, it does. That's kind of what I've been seeing throughout this. So, and she may not have been a willing participant. Let's just ask if she was. It doesn't look like it. Was she a willing participant in what happened between her and Joshua? Was Sudiksha a willing participant? This is a man, the emperor, he rules, right? He does what he wants and he's powerful. And I feel like Joshua overpowered her. I hate to say it. The emperor gets what he wants. You know, he's the ruler of the kingdom. He's the one who calls the shots. I'm just going to leave that there. I don't usually like to do these readings, but hey, this story came out and there's no like denying it. It's right in front of me. And that's what the cards are saying happened with Sudiksha. And, God bless her parents. What a horrible thing to have happened to them. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.